Views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation with Hard Grant is brought to you by Accrecio Hair Growth, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Digital Transformation Unit, Kelly's Home Center, Rev Bahamas, Ron's Electric Motors, and Wendy's.
Foundation. Oh, so it's the foundation. Foundation. Oh, so it's the foundation.
It's the foundation that's rocking the nation. Howard Grant's the host, Guardian radio station 96.9, 12 to 2 is the time. You can call the show or use the text line. Yeah, he educates, he informs. He goes against the norm. He's really got that zeal. Plus, he's a child of God.
Foundation. Oh, it's the foundation. Oh, foundation. Oh, so it's the foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation. On this beautiful Thursday, Small Business Thursdays, you know what we're doing. We're wilding out today. It's a beautiful day. I want you to be a part of it. Make sure, if you want to do this going forward, 827-0111. 827-0111, or give us a call, 302-2300. Right here in the studio, we're going to be able to chop it down and really be able to get into it and kind of talk about some stuff as it relates to what's going on in the community, right? You know, so in the spirit of decency and order, last week Friday, which was a hell of a day for me, right? We talked about the passing of a very good friend, Chris Mortimer. And how it was, I think the evolution of the story continues to be able to really get me deeper into the psyche of how this thing happened. And the only thing I can chalk it up to is that when it's your time, it's your time. Talk to me. When it's your time, it's your time. And sometimes it's an untimely death. Sometimes we can be able to label it however we desire in terms of freak death. Oh my God, I can't believe this particular thing happened, but there was a transition that happened. And I feel like Thursdays are always the days, and we always go here, right? But Thursdays are always the days that we identify. When we touch the paper, it's a little bit thicker. My father was telling me now he brings in the Guardian. The Freeport News is no more in Grand Bahama, so he brings in the Guardian, but he has to do so by weight. And Thursdays is always the weightiest days. And that's because our brothers and sisters have transitioned. And so I always like to kind of take a time out to identify the fact that, just in reverence and understanding that this is life that we're dealing with. This is life. And we're going to have to deal with this transition in one way or another. And if you're in that particular space, I always say to you, reach out to my very good friends over at Butler's Funeral Homes and Crematorium. They'd be able to assist you. I always kind of itch to talk about their names, but they're the type of persons who always want to work in the background to ensure that there is professionalism and there is a consistency and there is this sort of a demeanor, this idea of what exists here and being able to retain the tradition and the life of the person that was. So they never want to be able to make themselves the stars, but understanding the tradition that exists within the framework of Butler's Funeral Home and Crematorium. So guys, if you're dealing with that, if you're dealing with any level of transition, if you're dealing with these particular things, please give them a call over at Butler's Funeral Homes and Crematorium. They'll be more than happy to kind of reach out to you and help you during this most difficult time. I also want to be able to thank Accrecio. Accrecio, my girl, you have been consistent. Can I say that? You have been consistent in being able to reach out to us and sending your stuff in your live reads. Now, I'm waiting on you to come on, and I want you to bring the fellow with the bell bottoms who you said grew his hair back. I need to see this gentleman. Talk to me. You said to me, you gave him this, whatever you gave him, and his hair grew back. His wife didn't know what to do with him after that. She couldn't talk to him no more. All of his shirts, he only buttoned one button worse than Leslie Miller, right? You feel young again. But guys, if you're a part of that, if you want to be able to get your hair back in this position and make these things happen, I say that for men. Men have this thing with their hair. If you want to do that, please reach out to Accrecio. Let me read this here. It says hair balding, thinning, or breaking, suffering from scalp issues or hair that won't grow. Then Accrecio Hair Growth East Shirley Street has the solution for you. Quality hair products and hair care services for natural and relaxed hair. Yes, we treat men as well. You really should have said, we treat men well. Talk to me, right? We treat men as well. Contact us, 601-5144, 601-5144, or WhatsApp them at 802-6762. Your hair will love you again. You want your hair to love you again. Make sure you reach out to Accrecio. I want to be able to thank my guy. I just pick up some nice coconut. Listen, one of the most refreshing things. I don't know, for the past few days, I felt, since I came from Grand Bahama, I don't know, I had this kind of a stomach flu. I want to say that, right? And, my wife said, no. They transition from wife to mother sometimes. She can tell me what to do. I said, listen, baby, you can't tell me what to do. All right. You So I had to go, and she said, drink the coconut water, drink the Gatorade. So I picked up some nice coconut water for my guy over at Burner Boys, and I want to thank him so much for that. Guys, if you're celebrating your birthday, you're celebrating these particular things, I want to say happy birthday to you. And in the studio with me today, listen, I don't know, producer, please cue up some birthday music, because my guest is celebrating a birthday. He come in here with all his Dallas Cowboys hat on and a blazer. Totally confused. I don't even know what we're doing here. Are we going to go and buy a stadium? This is a lot. What are you doing today, sir? You're doing a lot, right? But he came with his blazer today, and I said, well, what are we doing today? This is a lot. So he says to me, say, Howard, now we can sing happy birthday. So cue the birthday song, producer. Let me get a little happy birthday if you got anything available right there.
Foundation. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Oh, did I eat up all the food? Did I drink down all the rum sweet? We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gifts. We done sing a happy birthday and you done make a birthday wish. While my mind asking a question.
He ain't gonna tell me how old he is in the studio today. This is Anthony Bullock. He's always here talking to us about B5. He's talking to us about everything that he does in terms of his what's it called? Quality, the tire store, right? Unique Motors and Tires. Forgive me, I don't have it written in front of me, right? Plus, I need 2 tires. I just want to put that out there, right? So he's always here and always supporting us here at the foundation. I'm very grateful for that. And today we're talking about something different, but I also really wanted to say happy birthday to you, my brother. I just pray that the Father continues to bless you as you continue to be able to bless others with the blessings that come to you. I mean, I think that that's how reciprocity works. And as a result of that, I just pray that the Father continues to bless you as you move deeper with this sort of a passion and conviction into the future, and he places you right where you're supposed to be in due time and due season. My brother, enjoy your birthday. I don't know, you look like a decent man. You look like you can do some decent things, praise God. Enjoy your birthday and have a wonderful time. Now, listen, let me get into this, because I know we're talking a lot, and I'm eager to kind of get into this. And it's peculiar how we talked at the top of the hour of my good friend, Chris Mortimer. I have someone who I believe shares that sort of a mutual position with him. You know him very, very good. He's always been able to be poised to talk about this sort of an idea about progression and growth for the country, right? And today, I don't think it's any different. Today, we're going to be talking about progression and growth from a business perspective, from an entrepreneurial perspective, where the opportunities lie to be able to move forward. I want to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Omar Smith. Say good afternoon to the Bahamian people, my brother. Pull your mic close.
Well, good afternoon, Bahamas. Good afternoon, Howard. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
I tempted to talk today, but today, I got to keep it to the confines of Small Business Thursday, because when I hear voices like this, I want to talk politics, but I want to be decent today. Talk to me.
Please be decent.
Please be decent today, Howard.
I'm not wearing that hat.
You wear no hat today, but it's on you.
Right? But I'm not wearing that hat today, but like you mentioned before, Chris was a wonderful young man. He had a passion for the country, and he was willing to put what he had on the line in order to try and make our country better. And whenever someone like that passes away, and especially in the sudden way in which he passes, it's always very, very sad. And it grips the country, it grips the people who he has touched, and and it's a reminder of us of how frail life is, and almost a reminder to us to get our lives in order, because we know not the day, the time, or the hour. And so, yes, Chris will be missed, and let's hope that his life and what he stood for has a lasting impact, and I'm sure it will. On those who is left behind. And,
every time I see this transition, I am reminded of the Ramming Brothers. Who's gonna fill their shoes? You know the song? Who's gonna fill their shoes? Because people give so much. And it seems as though the good ones go first, right? And there seems to be this sort of a void. Now, we know that there's always a remnant, but we just pray that you find, if you're out there and you're listening and you feel this sort of a tugging in your spirit, we just pray that you find that space to pursue your passion and the purpose that you've been called to in this life. So I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful to you for being able to say those nice, kind words about our good friend Chris Mortimer. Let's talk about what we're talking about today, man. Guys, I sat with Tony some time back, and he kind of laid everything out to talk about. He gave me morsels, bite-sized stuff for me to sort of to ingest about what your business is, and what you guys are going to be doing, and how you have gone off and done these particular things. And I was very interested. And him talking about this concept and idea of being able to go to China. And, not being the slimmest of guys, I said, my God, I don't know whether or not I can go in this plane for all this time. You understand? Sometimes you get claustrophobic. I just get claustrophobic when I'm sleeping with my wife sometimes. She just, listen, baby, leave me alone. That's why we get so much churn. It's a different story, but nonetheless, I just want to be very clear about this.
So, I you know what? I'm going to use that excuse next time. How many children you have, Howard?
I got four.
Well, I'm claustrophobic too. We have 5.
Oh, my God. I hope I don't get no more claustrophobia.
But it's so interesting, Howard, that you say that, because those who know, me and my business, we on average, especially, I travel to China about 5 times a year.
5 times a year?
Yes, on average, yeah. But and people ask me, about flight, and I do not like flying.
Neither do I.
Is it comfortable?
It's comfortable, but it's not about that. I just don't like being on a plane for so long. And also
Nobody does.
my mind starts to play tricks on me.
Yeah.
You start to think about things, that shall not be mentioned. And
you ain't got to mention it.
But listen,
these people on the side of you who don't know you when they grip your knee, oh my God.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. All my prayers and all the prayer warriors and all my grandmothers and all those who are prayer warriors, all those things
they pray for you.
No, that they imbued in me.
Yeah,
they come right out.
Yeah,
and all those. But to be honest with you, those are the things that calm me,
That's
especially when we go through turbulence. There's sometimes we go through some turbulence, and you know what? You'd look and you'd think that that I'm someone who don't care, and everyone around me will be calling, and yes, but I'll be the one who's quiet. And I'll be comforting people. Well, it's interesting you say that. The route now that I take, we take 2 routes. Sometimes we go through the States and we fly directly from either Dallas or Newark into Hong Kong or into Guangzhou. But sometimes we go through London and we fly into Hong Kong. And right now, the flight from Nassau to London is on average, because it depends on the wind speed. On average, about 8 hours. All right, and you leave in the night. You get there like in the morning, or probably around about 10:30, between 10:30 to 12, depending on the time. But the flight from the flight from London to Hong Kong used to be on average about 11 hours. But that's now blown up to 14 and a half hours now because of the war in Ukraine.
Ooh.
Yes, because I have a picture. I can show it to you. The flight path used to be a straight line an arc that took you over Ukraine, Russia, and then into the.
Not now.
No.
You can't go in that.
Now it's almost like a
airspace.
zigzag, and when you get to Russia, Ukraine, there's a dip down south, and then you come back up. And so the flight now is 14 and a half hours, which is, basically, what I do is I get my mind set to that, this is what I have to deal with.
You get into your prayer warrior mode.
Yeah, and
you carry your shoulder with you and your olive oil.
And then some, and then que sera, whatever will be. If it's your time and that's the way you're going to go. But brings you back to what reminds me of that time when you said claustrophobia. One time I was sitting in the back of, I don't know if you know the A380, that's the biggest passenger plane. I think it holds about 300 and something.
Yeah.
Double decker.
Double decker, yeah.
I happened to be in the back of that.
They call it an Airbus, eh? No, it was not the Airbus. Okay.
Well, yeah. It's made by Airbus because it's the A380. So Airbus is the company. Mm-hmm. So it's the A380. And I was in the back and at the window. And I think from that day on, I never flew in a window seat. But anyway, yeah, I was in the back and the window. So in the window seat in those planes, it's like 4 rows. It's 4 rows going towards the window on one side. Sorry, 4 seats. It's 4 seats, and then there's like 4 in the middle, and then 4 again on the other side. And from that day on, I went and I sat down, and the plane was hot. I don't know why. They probably didn't have the AC on at the time. We're sitting down, and heat just makes claustrophobia worse, right? And I think I had a panic attack. What? Yeah, I pressed my button. I called. I said, "Listen, get me off this plane. I'm not feeling well." And the lady said, "Mr. Smith," in a British accent, "Mr. Smith, you don't worry. You're going to be all right." I said,
"You sure, miss?"
I said, "Ma'am, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to be able to make this flight." No, don't worry. You're going to feel better. And I was having an anxiety. I don't know why. It never happened before. And eventually, I started to feel better. There was nowhere to go because they were already on the tarmac. And they weren't going to turn around because, there's costs involved in that. I was.
But after you got off the ground, everything.
No. After a while, I was fine. I was trying to figure out what happened. Why?
For the life of me, we tried to take people to China, and you all tried to frighten the people out.
I know, right?
So let's talk about this trip.
No. I don't know. I think all of us have the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't want to think about it. No. I don't like flying. I had a bad experience flying.
Really?
And to be honest with you, the reason why I go is because, to be honest with you, I want to better myself. I have people say, but
it's great opportunity.
If you want to better yourself, you'll go. We've been doing this now for over 18 years. Yeah. Me and Omar has been doing this for over 18 years. And the COVID has slowed us, put a stop to it for 2.5 years.
So let's structure it. Tell me about the business name, the concept, the 18-year process, the inception of why this happened. Yeah, we understand you want to be able to better yourself, but you guys got together and you decided to do this. This is an investment that you made.
Yes.
This is an investment. This isn't just casual, let's go to Miami.
No, we had persons, I can tell you, I'm not telling you a word of lie. We had people who just, say, something, y'all going to China? I want to go to a bunch of Bahamians. I feel safer. And they just went for a trip. Some went on, just to go on a trip. Some did, but the majority of them went for business. But we had some persons just went for a trip. They want to see China. They want to see the trade show. They want to see how they live and what they eat and, get their own experience for themselves, and it was fantastic. It was awesome.
So 18 years ago, you decided to do this.
Yeah.
You met Omar or you knew him a long time?
I met Omar. You might think is Omar was doing his business and I had my business and we were right across the street from each other. Mm-hmm. So Omar heard my voice, I think on the radio. I used to call the radio a lot. And I was telling him.
You used to?
I still do.
Let's be very clear about this.
Yeah.
Let's be very clear about this. You know what I'm saying?
So he said, wait a minute. I recognize that voice. You hear me talking because you get to know your neighbors. And that's one thing I must say about him and myself. If you're in the neighborhood where we work, we get to know each other. And he said, I need you to do me a favor. Can you introduce me to Cassius Stewart? And me and Omar have been friends ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And that was over 20 years ago.
20, that was about 24 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah, over 20, I say over 20
Yeah,
years.
24.
And we've been friends ever since.
Wow.
And we decided to come together and do something because he was doing stuff out of the Philippines, I think, or some
Indonesia.
in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh my, you was a globetrotter. You out here doing big things like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Hey,
I thought he just was
You got to do what you got to do. Don't
political.
worry.
I pull it back quick. I just do that.
No. Let's leave that.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do that.
I stop.
But yeah, we decided after going ourselves, we saw so many opportunities in China, and we said.
But talk to me about it. Was it just the trade show that we went to initially
Yes.
18 years ago? You went to
Yeah.
the trade
Yeah.
show. Okay, so tell me about this trade show. What type of trade show did we go to?
The first one, it's called the Canton Trade Fair, and it is the largest trade
In the
fair
world.
in the world. And every single thing
You could
in the
name.
world that is sold, you can
Find it.
find at the trade fair. So if you look around this room, everything in your eyesight
basically,
is you're, not basically except for human beings, would be available in this trade fair.
They probably
From
got it in the back.
doors. I'm talking doors, tables, the
Lights,
headphones, lights,
desks, chairs.
your clothing, your shoes, the carpet,
But-
the trash tin, the trash.
Big.
bags,
How big is the
paper bags.
space? Miles?
Oh, it's huge.
It's like
it's huge.
4 to 5 football fields.
It's huge.
Big like that?
Up and down, up
Yes,
and down.
yeah.
It's
It-
4
It
to
has
5.
it has escalators,
It is.
What do they call it? Those walking belts.
Over the course of how many days is the trade fair?
2 weeks, but it's 3 weeks now.
It's 3 weeks.
It's 3 weeks now?
Yeah, it's 3 weeks, and the way we structure it, you get to see all three of the phases because they call them phases.
Yeah.
It's first phase, second
Phase,
phase,
and
third
third
phase, and people come from all over the world.
Yeah.
To go and to shop at these
Crown
trade
Jam
fairs.
Park.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
It's I mean, you'll see things that are like out of this world. Like before, like we used to see those holographic images
It's just
talking. Like,
long
we
time
see
ago.
Long time ago. Some of the things that
Now you see it in the marketplace.
Now,
Yeah,
now we
it's
see in the
nice in the
marketplace.
marketplace.
A
But
year or
those-
two after.
But those things are the cutting edge. China, China is they call it the factory of the world. So China has the cutting edge in technology, and but they've been that way now for the longest time. And so anything that you want, if you want cutting edge, you go to this trade fair, you will find it.
So talk to me about this. Was there sort of a game plan, or we just all over the place? 18 years ago, you knew that we wanted to do something. I don't know what your specific businesses were across the road from each other. You met. It must have been serendipity. It gave us an opportunity to be able to move forward and do this. We find ourselves forging this sort of a partnership and moving into the future. You get here. What is the game plan? What we doing on the ground?
Well, on the ground, well, first of all, when we got there and we realized the opportunities, we said, you know what? Bahamians love to go to Miami. Most business places, they go to Miami to shop. And then we went there at one of the trade fairs, and we saw one of the members of these families that own some of the biggest stores in the country. I'm not going to call any names, right? And here they were doing
serious?
doing their buying, and yeah, these of course, these are the big boys. And so we said to ourselves, hold on,
We can figure it out. Though.
well, we ain't got to.
We ain't got to figure.
If it's close, we know the sizes. Okay. But anyway, that's a different story.
Listen, and we said, you know what? These are opportunities for Bahamians. This is an opportunity for Bahamians to come to the source instead of going through the U.S. and going through the middleman. We said, you know what? We want Bahamians to cut out the middleman. And that's where we said, you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to eliminate the middleman. And as a result, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. There's so many Bahamians now who we have taken on our trips, who are now, they used to be working for government and working for other
Individual,
people.
yeah.
And now they're entrepreneurs. They work for themselves. And we have quite a few who've become millionaires from these contacts. I mean, very wealthy from going to China.
I want to learn more about this, guys. I want to know about these things because post-pandemic, there has been a great deal of people who was working in the hotel, was working in other sectors, who've been laid off, who've been furloughed, who decided, even though that there's a resurgence of this tourism product in our communities, they've made a decision that I think I want to work for myself. I think I could do this myself. But they need the support. They need the products. They need these particular things. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this quick commercial break on this Small Business Thursday. I'm in the studio with my guys, man. Listen, sound like I can get ready to go to China. Howard going to China too. I got some desire to get some stuff. So we can find out a little bit more about this on the other side of the break. Stick with me. I'll be right back after this.
The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity. It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it. My sales increased, and I can track my earnings. Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today. Call 356-7764.
Make your morning sizzle with breakfast from Burger King Nassau. Enjoy not one, but two delicious sausage and cheese croissantwiches made just for you for only $5.75 including VAT. This breakfast classic is made with Burger King's savory sizzling sausage and melted American cheese on that classic buttery croissant you love. So say hello to Sizzling Mornings at Burger King with two sausage and cheese croissantwiches for only $5.75 including VAT. Only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators, and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this beautiful Thursday. I am wrapped in this conversation. I might as well tell you the truth. You know what? I keep telling you that I enjoy what I do because this, for me, is another aspect, another tier of what I did at the front office, right? I just was getting in people's business. It is only about finding out more and more and more and more and more and adding to the repertoire of living through the experience, vicariously through your experiences, to understand these things, to see whether or not this is a path or direction I'd want to be able to take. And to hear about what's going on right here, I hope you're interested. And if you are, please give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. I'm sitting here with Omar Smith and Antonio Bullard. I'm very, very, very interested in this sort of an idea of what these guys are talking about as it relates to being able to go to Canton, the Canton Trade Fair. They say it's 5 football fields, 2 stories over the course of 3 weeks, 3 phases, and they have a strategic plan to be able to get you guys there. If you're interested, let me know. And they're going to put their numbers out right now so we can do it now. So talk to me. Let's get the base out. I say call and the lines lit right up.
Okay, what also we do, and Omar's going to mention more about this, is the trade shuts down. The first phase shuts down. So you got 2 days, and the next crew comes in.
What's the first phase?
The first phase could be anywhere from electronics to a whole lot of stuff. The second phase...
Is it that much stuff that they have to phase it out?
In 3 days, yeah. It's too much.
It's too much.
Listen, this is the biggest trade fair
in the world.
Not in Asia.
So you get
the world.
Indonesia,
yes,
Beijing. You get America.
All over.
You get
all over China. Factories come there.
What about food? If person's going to be
food,
they got food.
The biggest and the fastest
importers.
McDonald's, but the biggest and fastest McDonald's in the world is right at the Canton Fair. The biggest and the fastest.
I promise you, I go on with you next time.
Okay.
Bet.
So what we do is,
I'm telling you.
Bet. Let's go.
When we going?
We're
going in October. October of this year.
Now my wedding anniversary in November.
You can bring your wife.
hold on, you're doing way too much right now. Okay.
But
Scratch that, baby. You didn't hear that.
We don't want you getting claustrophobic out there.
She might.
Hey, without her.
I might bring back like Cindy Patrice talks to the Chinese baby. We need to stop it, right?
But not only that.
I don't worry. I get that all the time.
Right. What we do is, when the trade fair breaks, we take you to basically 2 cities on your down days. Okay, and that's included in your package. So we take you to 2 cities.
We get packages.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me. Okay, so let's go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we get the base out. This is over the course of 2 decades. Let's just be very clear about this. This relationship, this sort of commitment, this conviction, this sort of an idea to move forward, and consistency over the course of 2 decades. So you got consistency, you got reliability, you got trustworthiness. That's very important.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's very important. And you got clientele that can be able to give you sort of a position to say, I've been with those guys. Now, I know you ain't gonna call nobody name.
I ain't call nobody.
We ain't got to call no businesses name.
Well, actually,
but there are
we can bring
businesses that
some in.
exist.
Yeah, there's some who have been on
Tell
our
them
trips.
call me.
More than once.
They come. As a matter of fact, they've come with us sometimes in marketing the trips
And found consistency.
Oh yeah,
Found significant value.
Well, let me tell you, a lot of them. Okay, it's also a two-edged sword for me because my business is I do logistics for China. So, for example, if you want products from China, I find them for you. We send our people to the warehouse, and they can do QC, quality control, for you. And so they will check, because sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes you're dealing with China, you don't always get what you pay for. You don't get what they say they're going to send you. So I send my people, or I go myself, and we go and inspect the factory and make sure they sell what they say they sell, and they make what they say they make. And then I deal with the logistics of getting your stuff here.
So the
for
quality
you.
control is also for consistency, because you can't just do it one time.
Yeah.
So you gotta let me know every time.
Yeah.
If they feel that you're comfortable and you're slacking off, they can send me these things like the Hyundais. Remember one time I buy one Hyundai, and every time I open the door, dry rot. Right?
Yeah, quality control.
So there has to be a sense of quality control to be able to make sure that there's a sense of consistency.
Yeah.
in
Because
these
some people
particular
send their
things.
money to China and they get nothing. They
Yeah.
get dry rot. I remember one.
I can't deal with things like this.
I remember one person. They came to us after the fact.
Yeah.
They went on.
Actually,
their
we could
own,
help them.
And they went. They send them money, and actually there are quite a few people who've given money for people for
And
I think
sometimes this
shoes.
is
They
people
got
life
dry rot
savings. They
shoes.
put their money.
Oh yeah.
They sell the house or mortgage the house and say this can work, and then they don't have this particular thing.
Actually, one of this person wasn't her life savings. Trust me.
Yeah. We ain't calling them names.
She ain't calling them, but it wasn't
she
her
had
life.
she had the
But she,
tone.
but
Let's go.
some of those people who are wealthy, they believe that everyone's trying to get money from them, so they try and work around and do things on their own. And that's what happened to her. But yeah, so, I mean, even until now, right now, there's quite a few people who right now working with someone now who's doing an independence product, and they source all of their labeling and stuff from over there, and they're going to be doing some big things when Independence comes out. You'll see. Trust me, you'll see what they're doing, because they're doing something that's very exciting. But we have a relationship with.
You know
China.
what is amazing? You and I spoke. We sat down. I got a great deal of things I want to be able to do. And I always thought, go into the fashion district, go into the United States of America, forge relationships, trying to be able to figure this thing out there.
You're going to
'Cause
the
there's
middleman.
always the middleman.
The biggest fashion district in the world, the biggest fashion district is Hong Kong and China. I'm telling you that, Hong Kong and China.
Let me tell you what I'll do for you. If you wanted to do, like, for example, you said men's fashion suits. If you wanted to make suits, right? We can take you to a particular place where you can pick out your materials.
Yes.
And then
The best materials.
You can bring you the samples of the sizes. I would suggest you bring samples of the sizes that you want, samples of designs that you want. They will make them for you, and they will bring out the size chart, because I've done these in various capacities sometimes for myself and other
You
people.
got me excited right now.
Yeah,
I'm about to sell the truck. Somebody can buy the truck. We get it in China. Let's make the thing happen. Let me take a telephone line. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon to all and sundry.
Good afternoon. How you
Good
doing?
Good afternoon.
Listen, who's that guy y'all got in that seat there, Howard? That guy with the bald head, the nice looking fellow with the bald head.
This sound like Marshall.
So the other guy on the other side of him,
She can see you on the GuardianTalkRadio.com, right?
I'm talking talking about roses, sweetie pie.
Okay.
Very, very long time. Hey, Chairman.
How are you doing, Marsha?
Man, how you doing, boo?
I'm wonderful. Thank
You sound strong.
Yeah. I am.
It's so
doing
good to
well.
hear your voice, even though I can't see you or hear from you. That's fine. I still love you. I can keep praying.
Thank you.
Okay?
I appreciate the
And
praise.
I just wanted to chime in today, and I ain't going to China now. I mean, see now, and I even ain't letting Papa go. Okay?
Yes, give Papa my regards.
So I can keep him here with me, so I can keep him on lock, so we can do another 25 years.
Amen.
Because maybe if you go to China, I don't know if he'll come back.
Daddy,
He'll come back, Chairman?
Yeah, he come back. What you mean? He going with us. He got to come back.
Of course.
Oh, okay. All right. But I can pray about that. But I just wanted to, because I heard Omar on the air, I had to call in. Do you know how me and you go, right?
Yes, Marshall.
And, giving respect to fallen brother.
Yes.
I should say my son, because I was the mother of all. On Chris's passing, I just wanted to extend condolences from my family, from me and Papa and Shima and all of my family members and those who loved him so much. He's gone, but
Yes.
he will never be forgotten.
No.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to really chime in on that and say hi to Omar.
Thank you, Marsha. I appreciate you.
Howard, you know what I mean? You go.
Yeah, I know you can call me right after. So it's good to hear from you, Marsha.
I love you guys. You'll continue to be encouraged and to continue to stay forever young.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Marsha. Have a good day. Thanks so much. Guys, please give me a call if you want to be able to talk about where we're going as it relates to China, if you want to be able to hear a little bit more about Canton Trade Fair and being able to sign up for that. Is there a website? Is there a number? What do we do to be able to be a part of this and get on course with you guys in preparation to move in October?
Well, what we do is we have our contacts that we put out there. We have two numbers. One is for me was 427-0930. The one for Mr. Bullard is
455-9978. 455-9978.
And what we do is we have meetings because we want to get people initiated and oriented into what to expect when they come to China and what the procedures are, because there's more than what you can go over in a show in a day. So we have these meetings, and in the meetings they can ask questions about all the different things that people would want to know. But I want to say something about, we mentioned the Canton Trade Fair, because a lot of people know that when you go to these trade fairs, these manufacturers are looking to sell containers, 20-foot containers, 40-foot containers, and so they say, man, I don't have the money to go to China. The difference, because I think there were a few people who used to take people to China before, and they, that's what they ran into. People would come back and complain, man, I go in there, and man, I ain't got the type of money to go buy no 20-foot trailer or container with the shoes or container with the hats. Where I can sell all that? Where I can sell 40-foot container with hats in Nassau? And so what we do as part of our trip, in our years of doing business in China, we now have forged contacts with wholesalers. So you don't have to go and buy
a 40-foot
container
I
full
can
of
get
pens.
a pallet.
Yeah.
You can get a pallet.
You can even get a box.
Listen, you can even get a couple of boxes.
Yes.
Now, it won't be as cheap, but it's just maybe a few pennies more than you'd have to buy when you buy a full container. So we give you, but I'll tell you one thing, it'll still be probably twice, half the price, still half the price or less.
Really? You can make your money back of your trip if you go and come back, and if you do what he's saying. Yeah, you can make your money back.
Listen, I said this to somebody. They said, you know what, Omar, you need to tell this. You need to tell this to people when you're talking about the trip. Once you've gone to China, there's no reason why you should have to work for anybody.
This is crazy.
Agreed.
If you've gone to China and seen what one of my good friends said, once you see it, you can't unsee what you've already seen. You can't unsee it. Once you've seen and been exposed to what we show you, the only reason why you'd want to be working for someone else is because that's what you want
choose
to do.
to, yeah.
Because there's no reason. And the amount and this is what someone told me way back when we started, because we were doing business in China for so long. They said, if you're doing business in China, why you can take other people? Let me tell you something.
To hide it. They won't hide it now.
No, they want us to hide it. They want us to
That's what I'm saying. They want you to hide it under a rock. No, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are people who've been going to China for like I said, I
Way
mentioned
before
we saw
our
some people,
time.
right? I told you, you saw some people there doing their stuff. They've been going to China for ages, but they're not going to tell the average Bahamian. They're not going to tell the average Bahamian. They want to keep us
There's a
in the
gulf
dark.
between the consumer and the wholesaler. Yeah.
Let me chime in this. I have a friend of mine. He had a store at the mall. I shouldn't say where he had it, but anyway. And every time I go to China, I used to bring him back a backpack full of Rolex. When Rolex was... Hold on. Let me finish now.
This the ticking set?
Yes, boy.
Hold on, this is the ticking Rolex, because, hold on, let's just be very clear about this. Let's get the quality control in this.
Yes, quality control.
Right. No, but so now you're saying to me that they expanded their business from an opportunity and a relationship that you had, they could be able to find themselves moving forward. This is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
This is an amazing thing that you're saying. So the next trip is October.
Yes.
October this year. Let me hear some more persons who want to be able to participate. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
I have participated. Thank you so much. Albert, you don't need to sell the truck. But I do tell you this. Drop shipping is something that we need to take advantage of, because you could be in the Bahamas and you could place an order in China and have it delivered somewhere in California, and you ain't never been to California, and you've probably never been to China. But I'll tell you when I went to China, an experience that I had. I went with a friend who was twice my height. We had to get separate rooms. And when he's walking about in China, he has like 6 girls walking behind him because of his height. I never understood that. And, I ain't had that kind of privilege.
You sound like Shaquille O'Neal. Go ahead.
No, I'm only telling you what you could experience if you got height in China.
If
you're tall in China, you could really make good deals. Not really more sexual deals, but good deals, because people in China see height as God.
My God.
Yeah, well, no. See, I'm really telling you this.
You're telling me I never been to China. I've been to Cuba.
No,
right? I never been to China.
In Cuba, money is God, and money.
Wow.
But I'm only simply trying to tell you something that you're talking economics, but that's cool. But if you got height, carry somebody who's like 6'7", 7 feet, you make better deals.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is drop shipping. I'd like you to touch on, but I also want you to focus on the fact that Chinese don't respect patents.
Oh, okay.
You have a patented. Hello?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, you have a patented idea that you filed in America. You go to China with that and you manufacture it. It'll be all over China and you make nothing from it. That's how Chinese work. So if you have a patented idea, try to figure out a way to have it manufactured in China without them knowing how good it is.
Wow.
Because once they tap into it, they can take it and sell it in all the other Asian countries where you probably don't even have access to, and then you will be able to sell pittance in America. Because your guests speak about patenting in China and how much they respect patents. I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Tell me about that. Have you found it over the course of your 2 decades in business?
I'll tell you. I mean, it depends on the level. What the issue that he brought up is an international issue dealing with international corporate issue. And when you have companies that have proprietary software and proprietary designs, on those scales, you have those issues. And then sometimes it will happen. For example, I think like when they had, like, for example, those things that you would see on the shopping network, the Gutbusters, and that's a trade fair. Yeah, the Gutbusters and stuff. If you have a product that it becomes popular, then 1 or 2 factories or someone may try and duplicate it. They will deconstruct it, and they will make it.
I think a lot of persons. Yeah. I think we are enamored by the opportunities that exist in China in terms of trade, in terms of products, and so forth and so on. But is it that persons are going there and forget that this is a communist country?
Well, hold on. Let me clear something up now. People say that China is communist. Let me tell you something here. China is very capitalist.
South Korea is communist.
Listen, I can't speak for South Korea. I haven't been there.
No, they're coming, but China is not.
You mean North Korea?
Yeah, North Korea.
But I'm telling you this. China is all about business, okay? We will take you to places. They're all about business. Okay, they're not about, even on the small scale, on the small level. You have people on the side of the road hustling, selling their corn and selling their sweet potatoes, selling their seafood, octopus, whatever. Listen, people listen, everyone in these cities are on the hustle. And ain't no one coming to them and tell them they can't drive a range. Oh, hold on, listen to me. In the evening times, when you see these business houses closing down, you'll see Range Rovers, Porsches, and I ain't talking old ones. I'm talking about 2022, 2023, leaving these business areas. And these are the same people. Let me tell you something. When we went to China back in, that was 2003, 4, somewhere around there, there was a hotel we went to, the Bali Feng. We always make reference to that. And that's where we met. That's where I met one of my first employees, because there was a lady who worked for me.
I met my own.
She just came out of university, and she was working at the hotel where English people who were marketing themselves to English people who were going to the trade fair. And her name was Miss Chu, or Sally. It was an English name. And when we spoke, we learned a lot of things from her. And I spoke to her. We learned that where she came from in her hometown, because the city of Canton or Guangzhou, where we go, it's like the capital. It's the capital of the province, but it's the mecca of industry in China. And so people come there from their hometowns. Like how people come from the Family Islands and they come to Nassau. So they leave the Family Islands, they leave their hometowns, and they come into these villages huge cities. And stuff like that. The place where they live, the building. She showed me pictures, dirt floors, and she was a university graduate.
Wow.
Now, and she worked with me for about 7 years or so, and then she's moved on. She's now working for a German company, have a few kids, and her husband is now working at a shipping company. And they have two condos in a city right outside of Guangzhou. They drive a Land Cruiser. Their children, they bought a condo in a nice area because they want their children to go to that particular school. So they're living well. In a decade, they moved from dirt floors to living a quality of life or standard of living that far surpasses the average Bahamian.
Wow.
And so, this is not like the exception. This happens like the whole generation of Chinese have moved. And this is what is reflected in why the government of China had to open up after COVID. Remember, they had a zero COVID policy.
Yes.
And they were locked down. Everyone wasn't. And so what happened was they started having demonstrations because people saw the rest of the world open, and these people wanted to go make money.
Yeah.
They were losing money. And so
Wuhan, what was in
Wuhan is where they had it. But the cities where there's commerce is where there were demonstrations. And this is unheard of in China, because you know what? I don't know if you're old enough to know about Tiananmen Square.
The tanks.
Where the tanks.
Oh yes.
But those days are over. China is really the People's Republic of China. There's no way you can hold people who have already seen and experienced economic prosperity. They don't want to go back.
Guys, we're going to talk a little bit more about this with my guests in the studio when we come back. I know that you're very interested in it. We're going to put the numbers and everything out. Let me take this quick commercial break, get to news, and be right back after this.
The sixth edition of the Bahamas Games are on the way. July 7th through the 15th. Get ready for inter-island sporting competition in the spirit of unity and camaraderie. Which island is gonna win? It's the Bahamas Games. Our nation, our talent, our games. And look out for the B-Games crew coming to your island soon. For more information, call 809-1242 or visit thebahamasgames.org.
With over 25 years in business, nothing says commitment to our people, culture, and service like Rev. And this year is no different. We will continue to elevate your home experience for you to create and share memories for years to come, while keeping you connected to the people and things you love most. Our pledge to provide quality service each year remains true. Rev is made for you.
To the world, he is your dad, but to you, he is the world. Shower your dad with love with a gift from Kelly's House and Home's Father's Day sale, Friday, June 9th through Saturday, June 17th. Save 20% off selected tool sets, luggage, and fishing, diving, and camping gear, except on net items. Shop at Kelly's House and Home on Saturday, June 8th, and if you are standing on the lucky spot, you could win a gift basket for Dad. Visit our Facebook page for more information. Shop Kelly's House and Home's Father's Day sale, June 9th through 17th. Happy Father's Day from Kelly's House and Home.
I'm Lasagna Meze, Managing Director of RBC Royal Bank Bahamas, with some big news that will elevate your debit card experience. RBC's new Visa debit chip card will soon be here. To make things easier for you, we're offering free FedEx delivery when you validate your contact details. No need to wait in line. We'll bring the card straight to you. Call 356-8500. Select option 7 for Visa Debit Direct Line and update your delivery address. Our team is available weekdays between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Take advantage of the security and convenience of chip and PIN technology. Free delivery is for a limited time, so act now.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wendy's new Chimichurri Cheeseburger. Chimichurri. That's how you pronounce it. Let it roll off your tongue. Then get ready for some ridiculously good flavor. Fresh, herby, garlicky, green, chimichurri. It'll feel like a relaxing backyard get-together with friends on a Sunday. But in a burger. Come meet Wendy's new Chimichurri Cheeseburger with our new Dave's Craft Lemonade. Wendy's, different inside and out.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation, on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, Small Business Thursday, just being able to take the time out, sitting with my very good friends, man. And I'm wrapped in the conversation. I don't know whether or not you've seen that they're talking more, and I'm really listening and taking note, really sitting here trying to figure out the course of action. They're saying to me, Howard, take your wife, you should take your wife. Right? Howard, take your wife. You should take your wife. Horrible suggestions. No. No, I mean, I think we should.
Does she listen to your show?
No. Yeah, she does. Right?
Okay.
She's right there. She's going to text me in a new lie. Horribly.
Yeah, you have trouble.
So no, I think I want to do business. I don't want, you see, sometimes so when we travel, my wife and I, I have this thing in my mind. When I travel, it's business, right? Unless we go on like
vacation,
you put some pleasure in it. You could squeeze pleasure.
But I had to kind of craft the pleasure out over the course of my relationship over the 20 years with her, because I have been conditioned. When I go to States with mommy, 2 days, that's just shopping.
Non-stop.
So we have this thing called Miami Walk, right? Miami Walk is a fast pace. You got to, you know what I mean? We work it, right? So the first time me and my wife traveled, she kept breezing through Lord and Taylor. I said, baby, what you doing, right? I said, listen, we in Miami, give me the Miami walk fast. She wasn't having it, right? I picked her up, right? She yelled at me. I said, do you know what happened? I'm sorry, right? So I said, I thought your legs was hurting. No. See, the different cultures and different ideas and different growing, right? Mm-hmm. When I go to China, I want to do business. And if you're telling me this is a 3-week course, how can I ingest all of this? And that's why I asked you whether or not you guys have sort of a strategy
when persons are going in. So let's say I know that I want to go in there for electronics. I know I want to go in there for clothing. I know I want to go in there for something strategic. Do you have a plan?
Yes.
About those things? And tell me about that.
Well, this is why it's so important to come to our meetings.
Yeah.
Like we can never go into all the things that we do
At a
on
meeting.
the show. When you go to our meetings, we discuss, we find out individually what you might want to do,
Yeah.
and you can ask the questions about what you particularly need to do, because certain things are different. For example, you mentioned that you're interested in electric cars. That's a different situation. You know, you'd probably want to go to the trade fair also.
Yeah, they have
But we
the
can take you
trade
some
fair.
other places
Yeah.
where you can get maybe a smaller quantity or whatever.
I've been
the case
looking at
may be.
America at these electric vehicles, and trying to be able to get a couple of them with the Lucid and the Rivian and the other stuff like that. I've been looking at them,
Listen.
and then I saw some stuff pop out of China.
Oh yeah. Do you ever heard of the HEP IZ?
I think I saw the video.
Well, guess what? I drove a HEP IZ myself and Lester Cox.
Yes.
We were in Beijing together a few weeks back, and we went and we test drive a HEP IZ. It is incredible. 0 to 60, I think, in about 3 seconds or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
You
fast.
serious?
Oh yeah, it's fast.
Is it affordable?
Well, the HEP IZ is like so. I don't know if you've seen the pictures. It's like futuristic. You know, the lights. I mean,
That means no.
when you look at the lights in front, the lights show people walking. When you look at the front lights, you got a crosswalk, whatever. It shows people walking on the LED lights. It's something that you've never.
It's futuristic.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you some videos of it. But
Well-
the HEP IZ. But even saying all of that, it only goes. I mean, it goes for about 70 grand. You know,
That's affordable.
Yeah, 70, 80 grand.
It's less than a Tesla.
Yeah. Oh, it's much better than Tesla. And that was our discussion. That it pales in comparison. The Tesla pales in comparison. No, we can't understand why people want a Tesla.
Well, that's
Because
the
they don't know-
marketing.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've never-
exactly.
That's the local
Yeah,
marketing.
marketing.
That's the
Yeah.
marketing in this
Marketing.
region. That's
Exactly.
regional marketing.
Exactly.
That identifies these particular things and say, you want this, you want this, you want this.
But anyone listening, go and Google the HEP IZ, and you will see something out of this world. But at the same time, I think the other day I saw some nice sporty looking hatchbacks, and I think I'm not sure, but I think it's about this is retail, probably about maybe $12,000. Very nice electric cars. This is all electric, yeah.
$12,000?
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'll take a look at it. I can't remember the price, but they had one there that had a little sportier one that was for a little more.
Wow.
For about 20-something thousand.
So you guys start to talk about these meetings. When are you having meetings? When can persons be a part of it? That not only they're listening in today, but they also want to be able to sit in and contribute. Talk to them about how they can be able to be a part of that.
Okay, our meetings will start at 7 this evening, and that's going to be at...
You got meetings this evening?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to be at Fusion.
Fusion?
Yeah.
Okay.
At Starbucks.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Fusion.
Yeah.
Starbucks. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what we're doing is we're having an early bird special. We're not going to tell you what it is on air. When you come there, you'll find out what the early bird special is, and we'll explain to you what it is all about and what is in detail with that early bird special and how long will the early bird special last. We also do installments.
We're already in June. We're almost out of June.
Yeah, but if you want to come...
It's still
and-
early bird?
Yeah, we decided when the early bird will stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we discussed that. So let's say we say the 10th of July, this special, stop. We're giving you a special, okay? And that's double occupancy, but we're giving you a good rate for the early bird special.
Just you just have to give a deposit
Yeah.
to secure that price.
Yeah.
Once you give a deposit, that price
and
will
you
be
have
secure.
to pay it off, the special off in a certain time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our deadline is the end of. Is it the end of August, beginning of September?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the deadline.
In terms of being able to get in for the early bird special,
To pay-
or you
no,
mean
to pay full, to pay in full.
To pay in full?
Yeah.
By the end of
End of
August?
yeah, beginning of September. Like
Beginning
that
of
first
September?
Week, yeah, that first week of September.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there and you want to be a part of this and you have thought about this elaborate thing that you want to do to be able to go to Space Mountain and all these things like that, I don't know what you decided to do on your vacation, but if you want to be able to take the time and really invest in yourself, invest in your future, and invest into this idea that you had for tomorrow, and you want to go over to the Canton Trade Fair and you want to go over to China and find out exactly what's what, please give my guys, Tony and Omar, a call. The numbers that you can call for Omar, 427-0930. That's 0930.
Correct.
And you can also call 455-9978. Go on. Go ahead.
Let me give you a prime example, Howard. I'm opening up a restaurant in the not too distant future. As soon as the gentleman is finished with the building, and basically everything for that restaurant, everything is coming from China.
I thought you'd go give me a number just now. You know, he's a restaurant fellow. I had one. It ain't cheap. And what caused my restaurant to fail is used products. I buy a used fridge, I buy a used this, I buy a used that, all and break down in one night.
Excuse me.
Like the devil walking there.
I have a container coming in the next couple of weeks. I have one in already. Okay? All of my stuff.
Brand new.
Brand new. Brand new. And when you see this.
And affordable. Talk to me about this. Affordability is what
okay, one of my machines, one of my small machines is less than $100. When this machine costing thousands of dollars in the U.S. And I have at least about 10 of these machines. That ain't my counters and all that sort of stuff.
You getting counters too? They get IKEA across the street?
Hold on, wait a minute.
You getting counters too?
Howard, listen. We have clients.
So you could get a shell of a building and just kind of fill it out?
Yes.
Howard, listen. We take people who go and they build out their homes. They go, if they're building a home, they go to China and they go in their building section and they get their countertops, their windows, their shingles, their doors, their tiles, their fans, and they bring in the 40-foot or 20-foot container and they build out of the container.
Has there been a sense of reliability in terms of being able to get the products here to the country?
Okay, let me get an
Of
example.
course.
I just renovated my house.
That's what I do.
I just renovated my house. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
I told you this. I renovated my house.
Yeah.
The windows, doors, everything from China.
Everything.
It's finished now. My wife does a particular job for individuals. The lady turned to the corner. She drive past the house. She said, but I remember, she just told me this in the bank. She said, I remember that there was a big 2-story house across from Mrs. Bullard. And she drove past the house. And she drove twice. She's trying to, where is the house? She had to call my wife and said, I know I'm to your corner, but where's your house? Is your house further down? So my wife had to walk outside and wave to her. People who come to my house right now, he hasn't been to my house since he came back from China. If he come to my house right now, he tell you, I move and put another house there.
That's how good you got everything.
Their windows, doors. Well, one of the doors didn't come because my wife didn't order the front door, the back door, everything.
So you know the hurricane-proof windows.
I got all. My hurricane-proof windows, I designed myself. You don't see no hurricane. People who come to my house right now want hurricane windows the way I did my own. I don't have the slides.
Ladies and gentlemen, give me a call. Give me a call if you want to be a
those.
part of this. We're going to do this segment for another 10 minutes, and then we're going to be able to get into it. I see I have a telephone caller on the line. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
Howard.
Hi.
Sparky, boy, I can hardly hear you.
All right, here, Sparky. What's up?
Yeah, did I hear him say something about Space Mountain, Georgia?
No. I'm saying if you, instead of going to Space Mountain, then you want to be
Stone Mountain, Georgia.
No, Space Mountain is Universal. It's a theme park.
Oh, I know, but Stone Mountain, Georgia, and Atlanta and stuff like that. But you know, I didn't know what the topic was because I could hardly hear you from that mouth. So I just was calling the show to ask a question. But I know it's Small Business Thursday.
Yes, sir.
But I just wanted to know if I could make a comment. Other than maybe the topic, because I don't even know what your topic was. But
well, if you want to, Sparky, let me get through this segment, and then I can call you. Call me at 1:30. At 1:30, we can break this segment. Then you and I could talk.
Oh, okay.
1:30. Okay. All right, no problem. So I just want to be able to get this stuff out and get my guests out, and to really be able to talk about what we're talking about. Now, you said that there's a meeting tonight, 7 p.m. Fusion, to be able to get this early bird special and get everything done. You can be able to put an installment down and ensure that you can pay by the end of August, right? I know a lot of persons had plans, but you didn't plan to hear this show today. And today, you heard it, and you heard it here, that you can go down to China and get everything that you imagine for little or nothing. I'm still kind of, dazed and confused as to what machine cost thousands across the street that you paid hundreds for, but we'll talk about that later, right? Because I need to know how much for the deep fryers, how much for the bakers, the ovens, how much for the fridge, how much for this, how much for that. I need to know about these things, and you guys can provide me all this information. Talk to me.
Yeah, man, Howard.
Yeah?
Howard, whatever you want, Howard. See, but...
You sound like a whole genie. Whatever you want, Howard, you need to stop it, right?
Howard, we've been doing this, like I said, for over 2 decades. We have never, ever had an unsatisfied customer. That's our record. Our record is basically
satisfaction
perfect.
guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Let me tell you something. The places we're going to take you, again, you could do whatever
And
you
a lot of
want
it's
to do.
been for trial and error. You say, okay,
No.
we ain't bothering this no more. Okay, this is the better thing. Okay, so over the course of 20 years.
Yeah, it's up to the individual. Like Omar said, whatever you sit down with us and you said, can I get this in China? We will make it happen for you. We have had, okay, how we get to meet his lady and how I get to meet my guy is at that same hotel. The guy, David, he knows David. I know Sally very well. I am David's daughter's godfather.
Really?
Yes. That's our relationship we built over the years.
You got a Chinese god baby.
I have a Chinese god baby. Beautiful.
This is a lot, sir. You.
I got 3.
You got 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave them their English names. Gave them their English names. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
and when I go there, I take special gifts for his wife and his daughter. I take them same matching bags, straw bags. I take them street scarves, like. And when she hear when Godfather Lorenzo coming, that's what she call me, Lorenzo. She's all excited. Daddy has to take her to see me.
Somebody just text and say, what about the 30K kilowatt diesel generators?
Whatever you want, you could
They
get.
can get diesel generators.
Yes, we were doing generators.
Remember the huge silent one? That
Yes.
huge one.
Yeah.
That they
No
had,
noise.
They had one in listen, could you
Biggest-
imagine?
biggest this room.
Can you imagine a generator, a huge generator, probably bigger than this room, in an indoor place. And they
No noise.
fired it up and there was no noise.
Noise.
It was hardly any
Anything.
noise. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, silent generator.
They have robots. They have robots walking. I don't know if you saw that commercial, that video that went viral with one of the sheiks or something like that was walking through the content fair,
No, I didn't see that.
and he had his bodyguard was
A robot?
A robot.
Yeah.
Somebody text just says, I'm interested in getting refurb houses and RVs. Do the guys see any of these types of things at the trade fair?
everything is
Also,
at the trade
how
fair.
much and how long is the trip? Thanks. I think we talked about that, but just touch it again for the guys.
Okay, so the price of the trip is in the range of, let's say, because we're gonna deal with that in our meetings, in the range of about $5,000 around there.
Okay.
Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but in that range. But
essentially, it's all inclusive. And
yeah,
you just have to be able to take care of your
listen,
own
we'll
meals.
take care of your
Feed yourself.
flights. Yeah, your flights. Your flights, your hotel,
transportation,
your transportation to and from the trade
Trade
fair,
fair.
your transportation
To London-
to different. We go to 3 cities.
Yeah.
We go to Hong Kong. We go to Shenzhen, which is like basically the Silicon Valley of China. Place where
Really?
they, yeah,
Yeah.
where
Tech,
they have-
tech,
electronics, those kinds of stuff. So Shenzhen, and of course in Guangzhou, where the Canton
I'm extremely
Fair-
interested in this, guys.
And we also take you to the doctor if you need to. We had folks.
Because you know what?
Go to the doctor.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
I get wild excited about what I saw the Ministry of Tourism did with JetBlue being able to send us straight to LA.
yeah.
Right?
I was looking
said,
online.
this is
I
crazy.
couldn't see the flight.
Yeah, but
so
there's
when did they
no-
start?
In November,
In November.
right?
There's no flight from here directly to China.
No, but I'm saying I wanted to go to LA
Mm-hmm.
so I could be able to find myself in Silicon Valley in one way or another to, tap into some of the tech that they're doing there. And also, my cousins live in LA. One of my cousins live there. So I want to go and hail him and so forth and so on. So I got excited about that. But now when you start to talk about this idea that you go to a tech city, a Silicon Valley.
It's clean. Well, guess what? Let me tell you something. When at night, you see things you never. You think New York is a joke.
Yeah.
New York is a joke with lights, and they got beaming lights and all these sort of things. If you want to put on a concert, go there.
You serious?
Yeah. And listen, the cities, he talks about clean cities right now. They have bicycle lanes or
Yeah.
cycle lanes.
Yeah.
And almost everyone, well, not say everyone, there's a whole lot of people who drive electric scooters
Motorbike,
and
yes,
bikes.
scooter bike, yeah.
So and cars right now. I'm not saying the majority, but it's getting. I'm pretty sure it's close to the majority of the vehicles. Yes, the majority, because even the taxis now are electric. Electric, so they are making strides in terms of clean.
Yeah, because if I read something, if my memory serves me correct, there is sort of a mandate to transition into electric vehicles by the year 2030, 2035, something like that.
I haven't. I don't want to get into the Kyoto protocols and all those agreements that these countries signed onto. But what I'm trying to, what the basis of what I'm saying here is that China is making a concerted effort to reduce their carbon footprint, and you can see it in the way the countries are moving, because China doesn't take long to the Chinese psyche doesn't take long to adjust to new technology. Whereas I'm not going to talk, but I mean, some people don't want to. They don't want to go online and use online banking. Some people don't want to go to the bank machine. They still want their bank book. They still want their bank book. They want their paper.
They want to be decent. You're mashing mama them toe right now.
Listen, I can't. I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't get no trouble.
Howard, he being generous. Seriously, guess what this bugger did? This good friend of mine did. Mm-hmm. He went in our whole district, videotaped himself walking down our district. Went to a place where me and him goes to buy our fruits and our vegetables and stuff like that. They don't take cash.
Cashless.
The guy, he showed me one of our good friends. He's crippled, and he rides on his motorbike playing the latest up-to-date music, and you tip him. You don't give him cash. You scan his barcode, and the money goes straight to his account.
Cryptocurrency and everything.
Whatever. If you don't give him cash, you got to scan his barcode.
No. Actually, the way it works, they have how they have WhatsApp. It's a social. It's
like Cash App and so forth.
It's all connected. It's called WeChat. I don't know if you heard of it. You must have heard of WeChat.
Yeah.
It's a Chinese. So in WeChat, there is an option where you have like a money side of it. Now, most people who have it don't have the money side. Foreigners don't get the money side.
No.
So in order to get the money side, you have to get accounts and stuff attached to your card. It's a process. But once you do that, and almost every Chinese has it. So, for example, if you go in a taxi now, most taxis, they expect you to pay by electronic. Yeah, WeChat. They put on this. I can show you in a minute. You scan it, and you put them out, and it goes, and they get a little note to their phone. So even the fellow on the street who's selling sweet potato, the people selling sweet potatoes and corn, they have their
WeChat.
They have the little scan, the QR code. They have the little QR code. You scan it.
You pay $1, $2?
$2, whatever it goes through. So
let me take this last telephone call before we get out of this segment. Caller, you on the line with us live. Thanks for holding.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Fine, and you, buddy?
Good, man. Listen, I chime in late. I have a question. For those who can't make it on this trip, do you guys take orders? Like if I want to order something, I come to you and you could bring it back for me?
What to do is you can give us a call. Give me a call and I can help you with that.
Yes, give me your number, please.
427
09
30. Yes.
And the name?
That's Smith, Omar Smith.
Omar Smith?
Yes.
All right, thanks, man. Good.
And your name?
I'll go back with you. Richard.
Okay, Richard. I look forward to your call.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of persons are interested in these stuff, guys. So just to be able to wrap up and get everything out there so we could know exactly where we are, 7 p.m. tonight, you could find out even more about what's happening in terms of being able to go on this exploration, this fact-finding mission, this opportunity of a lifetime, going over to China and understanding the opportunities that exist for you. That they're right there. Sometimes we actually put ourselves out of this sphere, this space, simply because we figure, man, that's too much money. I ain't got that kind of money. My God, that's a lot of money. I ain't got that kind of money. But if you're talking the way that you're talking today, this sounds affordable.
Listen, Howard, I know people who go over there and they bring back 2 bags of clothing or shoes, whatever it is they see, and they're able to pay for their trip.
2 bags.
Duffel bags. Two
big duffel bags, and that covers their trip. So let me tell you something. It's because, the majority of the cost in getting things from China is in transportation. So that's why it's you get something over there that's cost cheap, but when you bring it here you pay cost. But if you're going over there already, you're already paying for your transportation. You have two suitcases, or spend another maybe $100 and bring another big suitcase, and you can you can make a whole lot of money on
small products.
Because that's how it works. Basically, transportation is what causes China to be more expensive than.
You guys get me excited. I am thinking about
even if you just want to go and see,
Howard.
even if you just want to go and see, say,
take
notes of what I'm going to get involved in. You can say, hey, I'm going to check these things out. So when I come back again, I'm going to do this. But I'm going to have my plan to make sure I pay for my trip. I'm going to buy me some of these, some of that, and that's going to cover my trip. And have some money in my pocket.
We have heard enough stories about persons who would have gone off, came back, whether they selling satellites, whether they selling phones, whatever they've done, they have made a pretty penny here in the country.
Of course.
They've made a pretty penny here in the country. There are a great deal of businesses who still find themselves nestled in sustainability because their product doesn't come from a middleman. Right. It comes direct. But they ain't telling us this. I mean, that ain't our business.
That ain't my business.
That ain't my business.
That's your business.
But nonetheless, they are finding themselves when others are trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to sustain. And you're saying to me that we can find the sustainability in China. Ladies and gentlemen, please be a part of this. The numbers again for Omar, 427-0930. The numbers again for Tony, 457-9978. Call them tonight, 7 p.m. Fusion Starbucks. Early bird specials. Get in there. Find out more about it. The meeting is tonight. They've been doing this for 2 decades. This is all about the Canton Trade Fair. But beyond that, you're going to go into these cities and find out. Find out about the 3 phases. Find out about how much buys I can bring. Find out if I want to do this. I'm sure y'all can talk about feasibility. I'm sure you can talk about whether or not there's a saturation of this. Maybe you should consider this, so forth and so on. All these things will be laid out there because sometimes we have our own mindset as it relates to what I want, but you don't know exactly what's available. So find out about it. Be a part of this meeting tonight. Go over to the Fusion, 7 p.m. this evening at the Starbucks there over at the Fusion, and they can be able to assist you with much more. Guys, wrap up and tell me anything else that the persons need to know before they come to a meeting this evening.
Howard, I just want to say, I thank God for the relationships that I have accumulated over the years.
Yes, my brother.
And especially with Omar and a few other pop persons I won't call, but they know who they are, and I just want to thank God for that. And thank God for you also, because we're going to be coming here at least once a week leading up to our trip.
You said this, man. And I want to thank you because you've done this. You've brought your other businesses there. And persons could see that, hey, listen, this isn't Tony's first time being here. He's been here with his other businesses. And if he can be able to do that, we can do it too.
One more thing. I have another business coming on stream. I'm going to China to find out.
Business you got?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Well, you know what? You give God praise that
I have to.
You're putting your efforts and energies in business.
Yeah.
Don't be like some people having 5 children, right?
No. All of our,
You mean
I got 4.
You mean the multitaskers?
The multitaskers.
we're going into the service business, and all of our stuff will be coming from China.
Yeah. It's wonderful to hear. Omar, you can wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm just saying that this is an opportunity. There's so many people already who've taken advantage of it. You know what? I'll be honest with you. China. I've watched China change over the last 2 decades. I've been going. China is now, people say, they talk about where it's the first world, second world, third world. China, if the United States and the West is the first world, China is the half world. They're a cashless society.
0.5.
Yes, they're the half world because they've surpassed the West. Yeah, their subways are amazingly clean and modern. You don't need to be cash. You just rub your card or your phone and you just go to different places and you don't have to spend. You don't have to pull out cash. You go in the places that are pristine. You go to hotels and robots bring your food, your ordered food to your room. It's just the Chinese culture. Every culture has its good as bad, but I'm going to speak about the things that are very good. They embrace change. They embrace modernization, and it shows in their society. And when I go to China, I ride an e-bike. I ride an electric scooter around the place because it's quicker. It's faster, and it's like I said, my Chinese sister and brother, they have a vehicle and they have spare bikes. They say, listen, Omar, here, drive this bike, and so I can go from different meetings that I have on the bike, and it's faster. So I implore people to come, even if it's just to see opportunities and to open their mind and explore possibilities, what can happen. And you don't even have to do business in the Bahamas. For example, I have suppliers in China, and we send directly to our clients in the U.S., the Caribbean. Yeah, so So there's just so many possibilities. Whatever China meets you at whatever level you want to go. So if you want to be on the ground level where you just want, hey, I want to get 2 bags or some nice shirts or whatever.
We got it for you.
Yeah, you want some nice leather belts or whatever, some shoes and stuff.
Ties, silk ties, whatever.
If you want to say
you want a whole outfit and
yes.
kit and caboodle.
Yes,
we got that for you too.
Right. If you want to bring in cars, you want a car dealership, we can hook you up. Yeah. China can do that for you. If you have a product you want to manufacture, and you want to send it to the world, China can do it for you.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the this segment right here to be able to talk about these things. I want to thank my guests for being able to come down here. I'm excited about this. I'm going to tell you the truth. This is genuine. I want to find out how I can be a part of this because I think all of us have goals, aspirations, ideas, dreams. We're looking for ways to be able to sustain ourselves and our families, and we get some ideas. How do we get it out? We may have thought that it's too expensive if we head to the West. If we head to to our neighbors to the north, rather. But if we go to China, maybe we could make this thing work. Check it out tonight, guys, 7 p.m. over at the Fusion at Starbucks to be able to find out more about this early bird special with my good friends Omar and Mr. Bullet. He's here with us, being able to chop down these things. Guys.
I would thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank you so much, brother. Right.
We're going to take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
Introducing Wendy's new Chimichurri Cheeseburger. Chimichurri. That's how you pronounce it. Let it roll off your tongue. Then get ready for some ridiculously good flavor. Fresh, herby, garlicky, green, chimichurri. It'll feel like a relaxing backyard get-together with friends on a Sunday. Put in a burger. Come meet Wendy's new Chimichurri Cheeseburger with our new Dave's Craft Lemonade. Wendy's, different inside and out.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. 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 The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation on this beautiful, beautiful
Thursday afternoon, Small Business Thursday, we took sort of a segment, a timeout to really talk about some stuff. I got a couple calls from you guys to say that you wanted to talk about some things, and I carved out some space for you, but I never got the call back. There's a few persons that wanted to talk to me about some things and some initiatives that you're going to be doing within your community. Nonprofit organizations are doing some stuff. Please give me a call, 827-0111, and let me put you down in my calendar so we could know exactly what's what. Now, normally, I try to be as decent as possible and afford an opportunity, 10, 15 minutes to talk about those particular things. But if you give me a call well in advance, talk about these particular concepts, ideas, and whatever you're going to be doing in terms of being able to reach out to the community, please do that, 827-0111. Let me slap you in the calendar. And so we could be able to make sure that we're out here and being able to make some stuff done. All right? Says, somebody text me about what's happening in Exuma. All right? A lot of persons text me what's happening in Exuma. Sparky, I'm available for you if you want to be able to call back and throw your question out there to talk about these things. There's a lot of things that's happening, man. There's a lot of things happening. And I think it's time for us to shift. Where are you on that? Do you agree with me? Somebody text me and say, Howard, this is a boring show. I'm not going to fight you, my brother. There's a good listener. He said, Howard, not today, Howard. I don't want to hear about these things. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to fight you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to fight you. The truth is that I want to be able to get out of the position I'm in. I do. I want, when I'm sleeping, that money is being made for me. I cannot yield my labor every single day and hope that I kind of rake in something. Because sometimes it just doesn't equate. It doesn't equate. For the labor that I'm doing, the amount of labor and the work I'm doing, my God, this check ain't look right. And who I can row? Let's be very clear about this. You got to jump stick in certain areas and figure out the landscape of how to be able to make sure that funds continue to be able to run your way. We're living in a consumer's nation. We live in a society where people are insatiable. They want more. And no matter how there's an economic crunch, people want these particular things. Figure out a way to get into business. We're opening ourselves to the world. People are coming from all over, and they need these services. They need these services. Blew my mind when Tony and Omar started to talk about this concept of being able to have a shell of a building and going to China and outfitting the entire thing. Now, if you're anything like me, you're going on your Facebook, you're going on, I think I swing through TikTok and Instagram and looking at some of the things that we're seeing come out of China. I like to go to this space where the guy shows you the new technology that's coming out, right? The new ideas, the new robots, the new this, the new that, right? I like to look at those things. If you're anything like me, you're looking at those stuff and trying to figure out how can I incorporate this thing in our society. I've always been indifferent, though, because I've just watched Blackberry last night, right? The movie, excellent movie, right? I try to wind down, just kind of watch something, a little documentary, something. I like this type of stuff. So the issue with Blackberry had initially was that they never wanted Chinese products. They were afraid of it. If you watch it, they start to talk about how it wasn't sort of built or constructed with care. And so it had this sort of a white noise. And a lot of the BlackBerry Bowls, I think that's the last phones, was actually called back. So I've always had this fear. I've always had this sort of a subtle fear about whether or not I should bring in something from China, right? Even now, we talk about the quality of cement here as it relates to the stadium and whether or not these particular things can withstand and hold up in an environment like ours. But, as Omar starts to talk and talks about quality control, I think it's important. Because I don't have a safeguard. If I just go over there willy-nilly by myself and feel like I know what I'm doing, I don't have a safeguard. So if you want to be a part of that, guys, go and check them out. Find out exactly what's what and talk about those things to find the next step for you and your family. Just be straight. You got to pay school fee. You got to do this. You got to do that. find out the next step for you and your family. Because this thing ain't getting easier. And we need to figure out a way to be able to make money offshore. This is a small global community that we're in now. Can I just shoot straight with you? This is a small global community. This is a global community, rather, that we're in now. There's no distance between us. It's a plane ride away. It's a text away. We could communicate and pay bills online across the world. Whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's WeChat, whether it's PayPal, whatever it is, we could communicate and get business done now. I guess I got to be able to talk a little bit more about drop shipping, but to the caller that called in to talk about drop shipping, they're not the persons responsible for that. They, in terms of being able to speak ad nauseum to what drop shipping is, they have their relationships that brings things into the country. So I wouldn't have expected them to kind of elaborate on that. But I can get someone to be able to expand on those particular things. And I think that's important that we do that also, right? Well, guys, give me the liberty, give me some space and time to talk about a few things. Some wild stuff happened yesterday. And you can be able to see UB president resign, and he cites personal reasons. The University of the Bahamas announced yesterday that Dr. Eric Rowland resigned as president of the institution, citing personal and family reasons. The Board of Trustees, has accepted Dr. Rowland's resignation, which takes effect on the 30th of June, 2023, and wishes him and his family well as he embarks on his future endeavors. The university said in a statement, the university said that a former president, Jane Hodder, a former president of the College of the Bahamas, now UB will serve as acting president for the remainder of Rowland's contract, which expires in 2025. I'm always this is the decency portion that I always have to kind of attach decency to. I'm always baffled every time someone of any significant social status and stature says to me that they I was going to quit. When we hear Loftus-Roker say, I was going to quit, Loftus-Roker bring me a resignation letter that he passed to former Prime Minister Lyndon Pillin. 30 pages. So I said, resignation letter ain't got to be 30 pages. All you need is one page. I quit. And then 98 exclamation marks. That's all you need. No, he said, no, Howard, I need to decide it. And he said, he didn't accept it. He didn't accept it. There are many times and positions that persons just do not accept your resignation letter. They don't. From an official capacity, they want to do whatever they can to be able to retain you. So the question I have when I see this, what was going on behind the scenes and how long was it going on for the University of the Bahamas, their board and their trustees, to be able to identify, accept, and have a public pronouncement of this separation going forward? It's always about personal reason and family reasons. But it seems like there is a disconnect. Let me take the telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller, you on the line with us live.
Hello.
Hi.
I can hardly hear you. I'm very low.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Howard.
Yes.
I want to give you two quotes.
Okay.
Someone said, I'd rather attempt something great and fail and not attempt anything and to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, if you don't have enough courage to lose sight of the shore, you will not discover new ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, Paul Getty said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people effort than 100% of his own.
Mm-hmm.
What I want you, I'm going to leave my number. I want you to call. I value your opinion.
I appreciate you.
I need I'll give you my number and you can give me a call after the show.
Okay, would you let me hold on for my producer?
823.
Oh, you can give me it now.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead. 823.
823-8892.
88.
And that's Mr. Douglas Store.
Douglas Store.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Store, I'll give you a call.
Okay, good.
8892. 823.
Yeah, 823-8892.
Okay, Mr. Store, I'll give you a call.
Okay.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate your telephone call. I like that. I heard this quote, the first one, at my son's baccalaureate service the other day. The preacher took on this kind of position and said that he heard this from his professor when he was at university, that spoke more specifically to the fact that he would rather fail with a plan or mission in sight, a purpose, than to succeed with no plan at all, or succeed with no purpose at all. I thought that was unique. He said it baffled him. It baffling me now. I thought it was unique. How can I succeed with no plan? How can I measure success if I never contained it? If I never said that this is where I want to be, how do I even know that I succeeded? So this is wild to me. How do I know that I've accomplished, I've arrived, I've gotten to where I have to be, if I have not identified and sort of predetermined where this particular place would be? That was just me thinking out loud the other night when he says it baffled him and it continues to baffle him. Well, sir, you've been baffling me for 3 days now, 2 days. You've been baffling me because I'm trying to figure out, what is your professor talking about? I could understand to fail with a motive or an idea in mind, unable to reach that particular thing. And your failure is that, in your mind, that you have not accomplished this thing. But you've succeeded with every significant step, every single step towards that. That is a step of success. I went into the conversation with my son and I said, listen, over the past 17 years, I have been in and out of depression for as long as you've been alive, because I wanted to do more for you as a father. And I envision myself, watch me, in a better position. This was me talking to my son. He about to graduate. I said, I envision myself in a better position. I said, but the only thing that kept me as your father going in and out trying to figure out where I can make money, how I can do this, can I find sustainability? I need something to hold on to. I'm getting this. I said, the only thing was the faith that I had to know that God is not done with me yet. He got to take care of me. I didn't call myself here. I didn't bring myself here. So I gave him this sort of an insight to let him know sometimes when you design this concept and idea of what you believe success is, it may go contrary to the call and purpose that you've been called to. Sometimes you just got to prepare yourself in faith to step out. And in stepping out, I said to him, 10 years ago, let's just do 11 years ago, I would have never imagined being on the radio. I spoke to Don Martin in Grand Bahama years ago. I interviewed, looking for jobs in Grand Bahama. I interviewed when Mix 102 came out. Don Martin had his Mix 102 in Grand Bahama, if you guys are familiar with it. And I went to the interview years ago. This had to have been early 2000s. I always thought that, I had great personality. I had a good view of the world. I knew pop culture. I'll be good for this radio station. It's a pop culture station. And so I went there, interviewed. Don knows my family. And Don said, Howard, what I can do with you? Literally, that's what he said to me. He said, Howard, what I can do with you? You ain't gonna never be on a radio host. This is what Don said to me. Don's still living. This is what he said to me. Howard, what I can do with you? And he's a, curly hair, light skinned, short, slim fellow. So I wasn't mad at him. He didn't say it with this sort of a disdain or anger or this kind of a dismissive approach. He said, well, Howard, come on, really. You ain't never, I And so I put it out of my mind entirely. Not because of him. Then I tried to go at Love 97. You remember Love 97? I tried to apply there. I went through all the processes and nothing ever happened. And so I put it out of my mind. I ended up working at the hotel. Ended up working at the hotel, fall in love with the thing, never even thought about this one more day in my life. And I said, Lord, let your will be done. And look where I am. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity. Sometimes the success that you have in mind is not the success that you've designed. But the only way that you can get to the success that you can truly be able to bask in is when you align yourself with divinity and know that not my will be done, but your will be done. Talk to me. How am I talking? Am I making sense? Sometimes I just get preachy with you, but I want to encourage you. And I think that this is the encouragement that we all need, because I don't want to preach you down. I just want to be able to encourage your soul. Because there's been nights I've been, oh God, where I can get this money from? I got to take this, I got to do this, I got to do it. And I'm one of these kind of proudful people, these prideful people, like I don't want to ask you for nothing. And if I ask you for that, trust me, I got it written down that I owe you this. Because you ain't going to say, my grandmother put this in me. You ain't going to say, Howard never do this. I haven't done it yet, but I promise you from here to God, I can do it. That's the kind of pride that my grandmother put in me. Baby, you got to. So I never ask for anything. And I keep praying, oh Lord, where we can get this thing done. So when I hear opportunities like this come up about China, I'm really sitting here trying to figure out, don't fight me. Why just fight me for the hotel, right? I'm really here figuring out what steps I should take to be a part of this. Is this going to be a good investment for me and my family? Is this something that I want to do? Some of the names that these guys have called off air to me, you would be astonished to know that their products, this is where they find their sustainability. You'd be surprised to know that you could afford certain aspects of things when you go to their stores because they can afford to bring it in. From China. Blew my mind. So I want to kind of do that for you guys today. Let's see. Howard, you got it bad. You worse than Usher. Let it burn. Excuse me. Usher have a different type of burn. I don't know what you're talking about. You need to stop with this sort of thing. All right? We know now that Usher's burn is not, the traditional fire. It's a different burn. Stop. Right? And you fight me for the hotel. I already know, right? So it says, so is the spoiled violet guy from Grand Bahama going to be the new president of UB? And there are other Bahamian candidates around the globe who can be. I don't know. I know that we're going to see a significant debate pop up in due time and due season about who can be the next thing. It's going to be up and now until 2025. So I know that I'm eager about it. I've already started to reach out to a few persons to really sit down and have a good conversation about it. And I know that we're going to be able to lead to some speculations. My good friend Graham, Garth, is going to be in the studio. He should be in the studio with me tomorrow. Like I tell you, he was traveling. He called me and says, Howard, if you give me an opportunity, I'd love to sit with you on Friday. And I'd love to have him sit here with me. We're always excited to kind of get together and talk about national issues of productivity and growth. And I thank you so much for the opportunity. Guys, I'm going to take a commercial break, guys, and get back. And right after that, we're going to be able to kind of wrap it up. But I'm going to be as decent as possible and say to you, thank you so very kindly. Thank you so very kindly for being able to tune in with us today. I haven't taken one of my breaks. So we're going to stop the show here and thank all those persons for being able to be a part of it on this Small Business Thursday, to be a part of these particular things. Tomorrow is sort of a laid-back Friday, and I'm excited about it. I got to take this next commercial break, or these people won't let me live. So let me take this commercial break and thank you before I do that. And the next voice that you hear, radio talk show host, would be none other
than Shivago Lang. Right here on Guardian Radio 96.9, Howard Grant in your company. I'll see you tomorrow. God's Spirit Life. Have a beautiful day, guys.
The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.